chasing their two-syllable curses. This little corner of the world teemed with bird, animal, and insect life. The only thing missing was humans. And that was exactly what made it perfect. People were naturally curious about this foreigner coming to dwell amongst them in the most inhospitable months of the year, but after discovering her name and marital status, they generally left her alone. She limited herself to the minimum of pleasantries and discouraged small talk. Her nearest neighbours, around a kilometre up the beach, were a young couple who seemed to do nothing but argue. They showed no interest in her, for which she was grateful. The days passed peacefully enough as she tended her tomato plant on the veranda, sewed up tears in her clothes, and made soup once a week. One evening, when the sun began to set, she buried broken bottles in the sand, jagged side up, all around the property except the path leading to the steps. Depending on the severity of the nightmares, she woke early and performed her exercises. Weights and skipping usually, or a beach run if the weather allowed. Twice she walked into Sori for provisions, which was a 20-kilometre round trip. 20k was not unreasonable for her level of fitness, but half of it with a full backpack in torrential rain took its toll. She skipped the beach run the next day. She ate what the locals ate, not just out of a desire to blend in, but because she had no choice. Manioc flour, rice, and cassava, black or red beans made up the bulk of her diet, complemented by plantains, papaya, tomatoes, and acai. Fish was an occasional treat to begin with, until she grew more confident about approaching the river fishermen returning with their hauls of crab, prawns, and catfish. Buoyed by her success in negotiation, she tried her hand with the seagoing boats. Some days she could score anchovy, tuna, and caseo. Others, she was lucky to get enough scraps to flavour a stew. The last few days she'd come back empty-handed, and her tinned or dried supplies were running dangerously low. Rain or no rain, she would have to buy something to eat. When the wet season ended, there would be a market, a bakery, and even a restaurant at the other end of the beach. Fewer than 2 kilometres away. But when would the rains ever end? One morning, after a particularly horrible night of broken sleep, Anne was drinking coffee at the table, watching waves curl towards the shore, while attempting to psychoanalyze last night's dreams. It wasn't difficult. In the most vivid, she'd been trying to carry an armful of live crabs over a narrow bridge. Whenever she dropped one, it fell into the water and vanished. People were watching for her from both riverbanks, and every crab she lost meant more trouble. Her dream self yearned to release all the spiky, wriggling crustaceans into the river and dive in after them. Subtle, her subconscious was not. Someone was walking along the beach in a sou'wester and a wide-brimmed hat to keep off the rain. Whoever it was carried a checked bag, the kind people used to take their clothes to the laundrette. The nearest laundrette must be 3 hours' journey away. When the figure took a right onto the wooden slats that passed for a path to her house, adrenaline shot through Anne's system. She slipped behind the front door, her hand resting on the machete, listening to her visitor draw closer. Footsteps thumped up the steps, and the rap of knuckles on wood made her mouth dry and her pulse throb. Rehearsals were over. It was showtime. "Hola!" yelled a woman's voice over the constant drumming of the rain on the roof. Anne opened the door to see the female half of the argumentative couple scowling over her shoulder at the rain. Her face cleared when she saw Anne. "Oh, you are here. I thought the weather was too shitty to be out jogging, even for a crazy person like you. I'm Fatima, and I brought you something. Is that coffee I can smell? I'll leave my coat and hat out here. They will soak your floor. Come on, then. I like mine thick enough to stand up a spoon." Concentrating hard on comprehending the woman's fast, slangy Portuguese, Anne was too surprised to refuse her entry. "Hello, my name is Anne Sheldon. I come from a small village." "Yeah, I know. I heard all about it from Patricio. You know he's overcharging you for the tuna, right? Don't let him get away with that. Next time, yell at him and call him a thieving son of a Aye! What are you doing with that great big knife?" Anne had forgotten she was still carrying the machete. "I was going to chop something. Doesn't matter." She closed the door and placed the knife behind the curtain. Is black coffee?
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.